Which was more familiar, the first or the latter? It would be a lie to say that newspaper is dead, and gone were the days where people would rush to the newsstand to get ahead of what's going on in the world. Just take a hop on the bustling train during the morning rush and you will notice a large pool of society holding on to the Today paper that was given out free when the clock hit 7:30 in the morning. But not the same can be said for our long-standing newspapers such as the Straits Times and the New Paper. Just take me for example. I seriously cannot remember the last time I actually walked to a nearby newsstand to purchase news for myself. It seems to be a norm for society today to get news they want at the very comfort of their living room, their office, their school, just about anywhere, even in the public toilet, so long as there's the internet. Hi, my name is Muhammad Alim bin Khamis and welcome to my YouTube channel. The sole purpose of this video is to discuss the impact of the internet, more specifically the convergence that it accelerated. Has this brought about the death of newspaper and the era of freely available news? Is this a good thing or is this bad? Before we dive further into our discussion, what exactly is convergence? Convergence, to put it simply, is the basic idea of coming together, to become similar or as one. In our case, the movement from analog to digital, where text, videos, images, and sounds are for the most part a collections of ones and zeros. But what is converging? 3 types of convergence are observed: technological convergence, regulatory convergence, and media industry convergence. Sounds gibberish? Well, let's break them down. Technological convergence, as mentioned before, is the movement of almost all media into a common digital format or language, from analog form to digital form. A good example would be the iPhone, where we see books, music, imaging, all brought upon into one medium, the phone, the smartphone. Next, regulatory convergence. Technological change has created a new set of realities, where the distinctions between media, telecom, and computing are blurring, which caused the need to loosen the restrictions. We see this in a shift in government policies, one from preventing convergence to actively promoting it. Lastly, media industry convergence, where we see horizontal and vertical integration of firms. Horizontal integration refers to the traditional firms venturing out to new media platforms. In our case, newspaper publishing companies venturing from print news to digital news through networking out their news on the World Wide Web, developing a mobile-specific application. Vertical integration blurs the line of content providers and distributors. Traditional, where the line was distinct, now content providers can be their own distributors. Now, before we dwell any further, again, let's take a closer look at the many faces of the news. News in the form of all media comes in the form of television, radio, and printed news. Printed news is more popularized because it is available to the masses, and consumers in society may choose to consume the desired news anytime they feel like it. They are not limited to the time they have to be seated in front of the television or the radio to catch breaking news. The various content available in the printed media gives consumers the freedom to choose what to read and what to ignore. Due to the constraints, of course, of printing, however, it is near impossible to create news that meets the needs and wants of the society as a whole. Now, news in the form of new media, on the other hand, is available freely over the internet through the many technological devices such as the mobile phones, computers, and tablet PCs, and they are free to read, though the majority of the content requiring subscription. Even having that said, news would be available almost instantaneously upon its subscription. There isn't a need to wait for the courier to post you news. So when it comes to the battle of old versus new, which prevails? The printed news has always been respected and liked due to its credibility. Articles are written and sourced by professionals, unlike internet news where you see a part of it being written by consumers, which is clearly evident in social media news such as Facebook, Twitter, or in Singapore context, don't. But internet news like such are usually consumed with a little pinch of salt. For the most part, internet news available on Google or Yahoo or the many news applications found in the Apple market are as credible as the printed news. These news are still controlled by the publishers themselves or by the various apps, which may enable consumers to interact with each other and give opinions over the air on the given news. But still, the pros of the internet news outweighs that of the cons. Internet news is green. Updates are almost always given over the air the moment there is one available, and also it's very highly personalized. Consumers can literally have the world at their fingertips. You could be sitting at the comfort of your home in Singapore and be reading the New York Times. So, just because internet news holds many advantages, that surely is not enough to contribute to the rush for convergence and the move from printed to digital. So, is internet the only reason to be blamed alone for the upcoming extinction of the newspaper? Why kill printed news if consumers still demand printed news? Clearly, a revolution has occurred that helped motivate the move from analog to digital even further. Firstly, social revolution. Society are becoming more vocal and wants their voice to be heard as well. They seek news that are interactive. Secondly, cultural revolution. Society's dependency of the internet for their daily life may very well have motivated the need to converge and move to new media even more. And so I conclude that this in all is a good thing. As society seeks for more information in the shortest time possible and one that is interactive, society is embracing more and more new media into their life. The demand for printed news is declining but still present. So the verdict is this a good thing or a bad thing? In my opinion, it's a good thing. Though to each his own, no matter what, this move is inevitable.